All right. So this is my review for The Batman, The Morning After. I got a chance to go see the movie at the special fan screening in IMAX theaters last night, and let's just say, walking out of the theater, you know, I had a reaction that was sort of mixed. Like I was watching the movie and I enjoyed it. It was fun. It wasn't exactly what the trailers perhaps and the marketing made it out to be, but in many ways it was. It's a character study in some ways. It's visceral. It's grounded. There's like this very hyper real sense to the world that the movie exists, but then it's the most atmospheric version of Gotham I've ever seen. Like it really feels like this dirty, grimy, gritty, the 70s New York, ruled by the mob world that they create. So I really got a sense of what this movie was trying to give you in terms of an atmosphere and just the vibe that it wanted you to feel. So it really was. I've heard other people say like hypnotic. I wouldn't necessarily say hypnotic, but it was very immersive in that sense. More so than I feel like really any other iteration of the Batman, and certainly more so than since I think the Tim Burton iteration, where you really felt like it took you to this very specific world. Whereas I think the Christopher Nolan movies probably were more meant to feel like it's the world we live in real life, except now you're watching it on screen and there's the Batman in that world, the Dark Knight. Whereas in this movie, it sought to kind of give you some sense of that, but also at the same time transport you into this hyper real version of the Gotham City. But all in all, in terms of my spoiler free version of this review, here's what I would say. I was left somewhat underwhelmed, but impressed nonetheless, because the acting was great. Overall, there was a lot of great performances from Robert Pattinson, who really digs into this raw, under underdeveloped, I would say, or maybe this unfinished version of the Batman, whereas the Bruce Wayne side of his life is almost non-existent. As of right now, he's not really that billionaire playboy. He's really just Bruce Wayne, this damaged, persona who's seeking vengeance for the murder of his parents. That is, in this realm of this movie, still unsolved, at least in the beginning of the film. Um, and from beginning to end, I mean, the movie hooks you in with the production design, with the sound design, with the cinematography, and some of the standout relationships in this movie were obviously the Bat and the Cat, Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman, and Robert Pattinson's Batman. And then I think not Commissioner Gordon, but Detective Gordon, or Lieutenant Gordon, as he's his title in the movie, played by what's by Jeffrey Wright, played by Jeffrey Wright. I was gonna say Jeffrey Dean Morgan. That doesn't sound right. That relationship between Gordon and Batman is they took a different spin on it than what we had necessarily seen on screen, and it provided a lot of the levity that this movie brought, which there wasn't much levity in this movie. It's a very serious film. That doesn't really have a lot of room for humor and comedy and Betos, or so. Go check it out if you are excited about the movie. I'm excited for you to go see it. It's a movie that's probably gonna get better on the more times you watch it. Having only seen it once, I have a lot of thoughts, but I feel like some of those thoughts and some of those opinions will change if I go see it again a second, a third time. So yeah, that's my review.